the India and with the United States. As Kevin was saying, predicated by India and the EU also doing an arrangement. Well, now the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, says countries need to look beyond the US. I was talking to Kristalina Georgieva here. She's in Dubai for the World Government Summit. The MD said despite current changes in US trade policy, mid-level countries will need to work together to deal with current fragmentation. It is in a version of Mark Carney's idea of what needs to be done. But she told me, despite the new challenges, the world is learning to adapt to the US policies.
What we see is that the risk of trade collapsing did not materialize. It didn't materialize because actually the United States has calibrated tariffs down through negotiations, 23% announced. When we look at what is collected, it is much less. And it did not materialize because the rest of the world not only continues to trade, but there is an uptick in bilateral and plurilateral trade agreements. The short and the long is, trade is like water. You put an obstacle, it goes around it.
Having come from Davos, where we all were, whether or not Carney's rupture exists or not is not really the point. The point is this idea of middle-level countries and how middle-level countries can respond in the future. Do they need to because they're all your members.
They are.
Middle-level countries. Do they need to rethink their strategy?
What we strongly recommend to all our countries is get your own house in order. Because in a world in which exogenous factors affect you, the only thing in your hand is the strength of your own economy. Make it more competitive and then look for alliances for the middle-sized countries, Richard. There is no such thing as closing borders and relying only on themselves. They have to work with each other.
I can't remember the phrase the Prime Minister used, but it was basically the idea that you will find alliances, allies, bilateral, on different areas with different groups depending on the subject area. Do you subscribe to that?
I believe that we are in a multipolar world in which inevitably countries will seek common interests, and they are going to be different configurations of common interests. So yes, in that future, and actually at the fund we have been strongly advocating for regions, look for regional integration more, trade with each other, and for cross-regional bridges to be built.
This is exactly the opposite of what we've always done. It's been told this idea of a multilateral, large-scale agreements. And now you're saying fragmentation with risk.
Fragmentation is for real. It does not need to be a destroyer of our prosperity.
Does this involve taking on, when I say taking on more risk, I've got to be careful with that phrase because that means things in economics. I'll rephrase it. Does that mean being prepared to be more risky in what you do?
The world is changing very, very rapidly. There is no way you can make informed decisions way ahead of every step. So yes, we are in a world where taking more informed risk becomes a necessity. Who is best positioned to do that? It is actually private sector. And what we have seen over the last years, Richard, is that private sector agility has been buffering us against the uncertainty within which we operate. In fact, over the last decades, governments moved out of economic activity and they let the private sector in. Thank God for it, because here is the private sector more agile, more adaptable, more capable to take risk and manage risk.
Just want to ask you finally about Venezuela. Very difficult. The fund hasn't been there, well, you've been monitoring, but you've not been there since 2019. When are you planning to really look at this?
Well, we are looking into Venezuela. Our membership is to give us the authority to engage, and of course the Venezuelan authorities have to be interested to engage. But we have done a very careful assessment of the economic situation. It is devastating, Richard. The country's economy shrunk to 1/3 of what it used to be. 8 million people, this as a share of the population is more than Ukrainians fleeing war, have left Venezuela. We have no data. We have no understanding of how decisions are made. And you know that without data you cannot make good decisions. So there is a long way to rebuild, strengthen Venezuela. Of course, we know from experience it can be done, but it is really hard. So buckle up.
Are you willing to take on that task if asked?
Of course, of course. This is our duty. We are built to support countries, especially when they are in trouble. And I know we actually have a very good track record in that. Remember Eurozone crisis? Portugal, Greece, Ireland, Iceland. These countries are now the best performing countries in Europe.
Finally, Kevin Worf at the Fed. It'll be up to the Senate, of course, and I fully understand you'll caveat it's up to the Senate. But as a matter of nomination, does it pass your...
Very good choice. Somebody who has already demonstrated his understanding of the role of the Fed, and somebody who I believe, if the Senate confirms him, would do a very good job for the United States. And of course, the Fed matters for the rest of the world, for the world economy.